Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malaika. So, Likers, today we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy's series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 48, part 1. It starts with Jonathan that is complaining to Kenny about like the incident that took place at his place. The fact that Jetta tried to beat up his daughter. Jetta tried to beat up Benita, and to him, like, Jetta is a good person. To him, she must have been pushed, to that level for her to react like that, because Jetta is this type of person that she's a calm and collected woman. She got everything together. She's a very peaceful. She doesn't like trouble. But based on the fact that Benita was badly raised by her mother, because he's trying to justify why his wife would behave like that. That is the reason. And Kenny was very disappointed, because how long have you known this woman? Because to Kenny was just trying to understand, like, guy, wait, how long have you known this woman? You've known your wife for over 20 years. In the 4th year of your marriage, you cheated on her. You had you brought in a daughter. She raised that child. Today she's 16, and she raised her like her own. And you stand here, you're saying that she didn't raise that child. Okay, let's assume she didn't raise it. What was your duty as a father? Yes, because some parents, some dad, for instance, are always thinking that it is a mother's sole duty to raise up a child. So what about you, the dad? What are you supposed to do? What did you do to fix things? What did you do to make things look better? Because, like us, let's be honest here, it's not all about the fact that, okay, you were supposed to do this, you didn't do it right. You were supposed to do that, you didn't do that right. It's not all about that. It's about the fact that everybody has their job to do. The next thing shows Jetta, who is at the balcony, going through her phone, and Benita comes to speak to Jetta. She wanted to have a conversation with her because she wanted to understand something. Sometimes something will happen and you behave as if you don't know what's happening. Then later you come back to find out what is going on. So she wants to understand, why was Debbie feeling so comfortably sitting chatting with Jetta if they didn't know each other. Jetta, remember, Jetta does not have sense. Debbie is more cunning than Jetta. Jetta couldn't defend herself, and to her, she wanted to stick to the point that what was she trying to say? But Benita is a very clever little girl. She made Jetta understand that, girl, I have my eyes on you. That for Debbie to come and sit in this house so comfortably, having a chat with you, it was simply because you guys have known each other. Yes, you guys knew each other. For her to come and sit, if you didn't know each other, she would have never been that comfortable. And to her, it means that they are plotting something, because this child already knows that her parents are where they are today because of that Debbie. Because she's not aware that Emeka's hand is in it, but she knows Debbie has something to do with this. But now, instead for Jetta to try to cover up, but Jetta is rather trying to instigate something, and she's trying to show herself, threatening the girl, that because to her it was more like, if your dad could raise his hand against you with a belt, while using a belt, imagine what he would do if I ask him to, because he raised his hand on you because of me. So imagine, like, if I ask him to throw you out of the house with so much confidence and boldness, he would definitely. So she's trying to show her strength as a woman. She's trying to make the little girl understand that, listen, I got this under control. You understand? Whatever it is that I want your dad to do, he will do for me. Anyhow, I can manipulate your dad. But I like the fact that Benny is not backing down anytime soon. Yes, Benny is not letting Jetta get away with it, because Jetta is full of herself. Jetta is thinking so highly of herself. And where she stands, she is ready to fight with her. Like, drag her anyhow she can for her not to succeed in her plans. And Jetta, when you look at Jetta, Jetta has so much confidence. She wants to use her femininity. She wants to use her feminine power to control things. But at some point, I don't think it will work, you know. So to her, this girl is too small to talk to her. The next thing shows Jetta, who is laying down on a sofa in the I think sitting room. Then Teresa walked up to her because yes, in as much as the incident has passed, Teresa wanted to put her 2 cents, like to try to make Jetta understand that what she did by trying to beat up Benita with a belt was very wrong. You know, because to her, even her sister who raised Benita has never laid her hands on her. You know, her sister will never use a belt on her. You know, Jetta just got into this marriage. She has not, the dust has not yet settled. Like she should be calming down. But you know now, Jetta must show. This is how we are women. We like to show our authority. We like to show that we are the owners of this environment. Because to Jetta, it's more like you are not even supposed to be here. I'm not even looking at your way. Why are you talking? You know. So to her, it's more like Teresa is getting on her last nerve because she didn't want Teresa to say anything. But why is Teresa saying something when Teresa should know by now that she is not supposed to say anything to her? Yes, because according to Jetta, you know, Teresa speaking to her, Teresa has no position in that house because the person that she came for is no longer there, which is her sister. The sister today is her ex-wife. So for Teresa to be there, and Teresa is not even related to Benita because Benita is not biologically, you know, related to Clara. You see, this is when you know a woman is bad. Because for you to just come into that house and start talking anyhow like that, it is very wrong. You know, it's very wrong because you don't know how much these people have come. You don't know how far they've been in their relationship. You know, you don't know anything. It is really wrong. You understand? So for Jetta, she's doing what she's supposed to do because to her this is her house. This is her home. So she's trying to prove a point. And two captains cannot be on the same ship because she's seeing Teresa as a rival. Yes. She said, "Are you people know that Jetta is there on a mission?" Jetta is there on a mission. So eventually, any way that Jetta will try to isolate Emeka, the more she isolates Emeka, the better for their mission. You know, it will be easier for them. You know, so what best way can she do if not causing problems in the house, left, right, front, center? If not trying to make sure that to hit their heads, Emeka against this, you know, sorry, to hit the heads of Jonathan against maybe Teresa, Jonathan against Benita, you know, stuff like that. How would she succeed? So she needs to do those things. You know, and at this point she's not willing to let go. So the next thing shows Jonathan in there by the balcony upstairs, you know, going through her phone, and Jetta comes. You know, Jonathan wants to say hi, but Jetta was so cold and Jonathan was wondering what was going on. We all know how women can be manipulative sometimes. Some women, not all women. Anyway, all of us, you know, it depends what we want at that particular time. Definitely Jetta wants to manipulate the situation. Yes, Jetta wants to make the situation be in her favor and she wants to exercise her power. You know, so eventually for her to do that, Teresa has to go. You know, so Jetta now is trying to find out about the relationship that exists between Jonathan and Teresa. You know, and to her there is no relationship there because if the only reason why she's in that house in the first place was for her sister is no longer in the marriage. You know, so automatically her sister no longer being here shows that Teresa is a spy. You know, it definitely shows that she is there to spy on them and to take it back to her sister. Yes, she's there to spy on them and make sure that Clara knows what is going on in their house. So to her it will be better for Jonathan to look for means to send Teresa away, regardless of everything that she must have done for him. You know, it doesn't matter. She should settle her and let her go. And we all know how foolish I'm sorry to use this word. Like us, we all know how foolish this guy can be. He's so gullible that anything you tell him, he will hear, you know. So he had to, like, he had to believe. As soon as they told him that she was a spy, he had to believe it. Yes, he had to believe. Now, it will be left for him to just look for money to give her to just go settle her. But to Jetta, settling her would take so much time because Jonathan, she knows that Jonathan doesn't have money. So even if it's transport, let Jonathan give her so that she can go. Yes, so that she can go away because she cannot stand her, because to her she is there to spy on them and to take it back to her, to his wife, as if it's going to change something. This girl is something else. So the next scene shows Emeka and Debbie talking. Emeka wanted to know what's up, like Jeta's job in that house, if it's pulling through, if it's going through. So because Debbie reports to Emeka, Emeka also reports to Debbie. Then Jeta now is the one working for them now. So Jeta definitely reports to Debbie. Then Debbie reports to Emeka in this case. So Debbie is trying to make Emeka understand that Jeta is doing a marvelous job already. She's doing more than what she's even supposed to do. So, but to Emeka, she's wasting time on like on useless things, because to him, causing, because Debbie was bragging about Jeta causing problems between Jonathan and Benita, and Teresa and Jonathan. She wants Teresa to be thrown out of the house by Jonathan. Whereas to Emeka, it doesn't make sense. To him, Jeta is wasting so much time. Whereas this time, they could use it to be doing something else, because she is there to ruin Jonathan, and they should not waste time on not doing something that will ruin Jonathan's life, because she's there to know incomes that are going in and out. She's there to know those things. So what best way to do, if not to, do sharp so that they can ruin him once and for all? But Debbie is trying to make him understand that those things that she's doing is worth doing, because what best way to ruin Emeka if not isolating him from everybody? If not isolating him from his daughter, from Teresa, how can they? Because the easiest way, and we know that Emeka is gullible. Sorry, Jonathan is gullible. So the easy way for him to be used is when nobody is around. They can put things in his ears. So the next scene shows Jonathan and Emeka in the car. Jonathan complaining about what Jeta said, and Emeka is 100% supporting Jeta, making it known that Jeta is not doing anything wrong. He spiced it up by making Emeka to understand that Jeta is a godsend in his life. He should not lose a girl like that, because if he loses her, he is going to regret it for the rest of his life, because women like Jeta are hard to come by. What do you expect? She is there doing a job for him. Do you want him to, would you expecting him to sabotage her? Of course not. So Emeka is eventually going to say the things that Jonathan will feel like, oh my god, I cannot disobey this woman, because she's going to take me to the next level of my life. I have to respect her. Well, yes, whatever it is that she's saying is the right thing to do. That is what I'll do. Like, guys, honestly, if somebody is gullible, like, just let them be. Because Jonathan has proven without reasonable doubt that he's the most dumbest person I've ever seen. Like us, we are going to end this video. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate you guys. Keep up, watching, and just wait for the next part to come, because it's coming up right away. Okay, happy new week, guys. I love you guys so super much. Thank you for everything. All right, stay tuned on this note. But remember, I've told you, but after this series, I'm no more doing review for Mr. Aloy. I'll be doing Amebo. Okay, bye, guys.